On August 15, 1971, President Richard Nixon announced that the United States would be terminating the convertibility of American dollars into gold, turning the world's reserve medium of exchange into something backed by nothing but belief.
The strength of a nation's currency is based on the strength of that nation's economy. And the American economy is by far the strongest in the world. Accordingly, I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
For over a century, gold has been the ultimate store of value. But what if the United States flipped the script, selling its gold reserves for Bitcoin? Would this be the financial revolution of the century, or an economic gamble with massive consequences? Could Bitcoin become America's greatest asset? And here's the real kicker. The U.S. government could do it without using taxpayer money.
This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world, and we'll get it done. If crypto is going to define the future, I want to be mined, minted, and made in the USA. It's going to be. It's not going to be made anywhere else. And if Bitcoin is going to the moon, as we say, it's going to the moon, I want America to be the nation that leads the way, and that's what's going to happen.
The U.S. holds approximately 8,100 metric tons of gold, valued at over $500 billion. Now let's hear from Cathie Wood, founder and CEO of ARK Invest.
The last thing I want to talk about is the strategic Bitcoin reserve. There are people in this room that are salivating over the idea that they got to front run the United States of America and every other country to buy Bitcoin. And they think that when the United States, when not if, finally capitulates and buys Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin will look like a vertical line straight up. Forget the price impact for a second, but what do you think the odds of a strategic Bitcoin reserve are, let's say, this year?
This year. Again, it's a high priority. I think this issue became a one-issue voter issue, right? And the president is going to make good on his promise because this really helped bring in the young people. I do think it will happen.
Cathie Wood called it first on February 24th during Bitcoin Investor Week. Cathie Wood confidently predicted that Donald Trump would adopt Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. On March 6th, the unexpected happened. Trump signed an executive order officially recognizing Bitcoin as part of the U.S. strategic reserve. This bold prediction, followed by swift confirmation, solidifies Cathie Wood's status as one of the greatest investors of our time.
And now, I know there are controversies out there. There are truly some the confiscation of some Bitcoin, that was truly illicit and criminal and all of that. There are questions about others. And then there's the other question is, wait a minute, are you really then going to get all the way up to 1 million Bitcoin? How do you do that? How do you fund it? Well, our gold is at cost on our balance sheet. Land is at cost. I learned from Senator Lummis, a third of the land in the United States and 50% in Wyoming is on our country's balance sheets at cost. Think about that. Think about that. We could sell a little bit off and we could definitely, and same with gold. Same with gold.
Gold has been the cornerstone of global wealth for thousands of years. Even though the U.S. dollar is no longer backed by gold, the government still holds massive reserves. But in today's digital world, gold just sits there, locked in vaults, not generating any yield, not being utilized. But Bitcoin? It's dynamic, borderless, and actively securing the future of finance. Let's now hear from U.S. Senator Cynthia Lummis.
To augment it in a way that provides authority by statute for the U.S. government to take gold certificates, which we hold them at about a 1974 value, which was, I don't know, $46 an ounce or some such thing, and then bring them to market value and then use that to buy Bitcoin. If we did that, we could probably buy 200,000 Bitcoin every year for 5 years, hold them for 20 years, and not use a single new taxpayer dollar to do it. So, this is a very doable thing.
Here's a video of President Trump signing the executive order, a historic move for Bitcoin, one that Cathie Wood saw coming before anyone else. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve established on March the 7th, 2025. This initiative aims to position the U.S. at the forefront of the global cryptocurrency landscape. On the same day, the White House hosted its first-ever crypto summit, bringing together industry leaders, policymakers, and innovators to discuss the future of digital assets. White House Crypto Summit convened on March the 7th, 2025. This summit signifies the administration's commitment to embracing and regulating the burgeoning crypto industry. Here is Michael Saylor, Chairman of Strategy and leading advocate for Bitcoin adoption.
The word strategic Bitcoin reserve, to the casual observer, they sound like a stockpile of an asset. To a closer observer, it sounds like a stockpile of the most valuable asset the human race has ever invented.
We have tremendous people very interested in this subject. And last year, I promised to make America the Bitcoin superpower of the world and the crypto capital of the planet. And we're taking historic action to deliver on that promise, as you know, around the table. Yesterday, I signed an executive order officially creating our strategic Bitcoin reserve, and this will be a virtual Fort Knox for digital gold to be housed within the United States Treasury. That's a big thing, Scott.
Here is Hines, the Executive Director of the Presidential Council of Advisors on Digital Assets.
How are you guys, maybe from a framework standpoint, thinking about, okay, what are the ways that we could go buy more Bitcoin?
Well, I think that Senator Lummis has really an interesting idea with the Bitcoin Act of 2025, which I know has taken the community by storm. But here, what you would do is you'd revalue the gold certificates that we currently have at Treasury, most of which are valued, I think, around like $43 an ounce, which is,
a lot lower than what it's really worth.
Correct, yeah. So now we're sitting at, what, $3,100 an ounce, with being the price of gold. And if you took that value, what you could do is use that extra funding in order to buy more Bitcoin that could be used for the reserve. But that's just one idea. And, that's currently circulating its way through Capitol Hill, and we'll see how many co-sponsors she can get and how she can pull her colleagues on board. But we're looking at many creative ways.
A key aspect of this strategy is funding the Bitcoin reserve without burdening taxpayers. The government plans to utilize Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies seized in criminal and civil asset forfeiture proceedings. Approximately 200,000 Bitcoin, worth around $17 billion, seized by the U.S. government. By redirecting these assets into the National Reserve, the government bolsters its digital holdings without additional taxpayer expenditure. Building on this momentum, the administration is exploring the possibility of selling portions of the National Gold Reserve to acquire additional Bitcoin. This approach would transition value from a static asset to a dynamic one, aligning with the digital evolution of global finance. This strategy aims to modernize the U.S. financial portfolio, embracing the potential of decentralized digital currency. A comprehensive approach is essential to navigate the complexities of integrating Bitcoin into national reserves. The United States stands at the cusp of a financial revolution. By embracing Bitcoin and other digital assets, we have the opportunity to lead in the digital age, fostering innovation and securing economic prosperity for future generations. The future of finance is digital.
From this day on, America will follow the rule that every Bitcoin knows very well: never sell your Bitcoin. That's a little phrase that they have. I don't know if that's right or not. Who the hell knows, right? Who knows? Who knows? But so far, it's been right. And well, let's keep it that way.
Will the U.S. lead the way? What do you think about the U.S. selling its gold reserves to invest in Bitcoin? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, visit us at our website at techhedgepivot.com and be part of our community. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more explorations into the future of finance.